Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to another Champions League Fantasy Update video. In this one, as you can see, we will be talking about the Matchday 3 watch list. So you shouldn't be bringing these players immediately or anything like that. Don't transfer in right away. Nope. Just keep an eye on them between now and the next match day. So there is an international break currently. These players are playing for their countries. And also after that, there will be a weekend of Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga games. So keep an eye on them as well during that weekend and see what happens. So I've picked up three players who I think we should be keeping an eye on. Very, very good options. Depending on how players will be fit in their team, how many players will be injured, I think there will be good options. So let me know which ones you've thought about as well. Let me know which ones I miss out on too. So the first one is Tsimikas of Liverpool. Yes, I have gone for Tsimikas of Liverpool. Let me just show you his stats from the last game against Ajax. So this was him against Ajax. He completed 74% of his passes. He created 5 chances. He was fast in the game. 5 chances. He's a left back, by the way. 1 assist in that match. He got the crucial assist for Matip's winner against Ajax. He also got 72 touches. He took 1 shot. He completed half of his dribbles. He was not dribbled past at all, and he made 2 out of 2 tackles and picked up 1 interception as well. So those numbers are very good for a defender. Very, very good in terms of attacking returns. You want a defender who goes for that much and touches the ball that much as well. And also the tackles, interceptions. Remember, players in the Champions League fantasy, players get points for recovery runs and recovery points and all that. So he gets you a couple of points from that too. Not only that, he takes corners. Trent Alexander-Arnold takes corners from that other side, but Tsimikas takes them from that other side as well. And at 4.5 million for a Liverpool defender, definitely yes. Now, the reason he's only on the watch list and is not being considered for a transfer right away is because him starting depends on whether Robertson is there or not. So Robertson is currently injured. He missed the last game. He should have missed a couple if the games weren't postponed. But even this season, Robertson hasn't been at the top of his game. And Tsimikas, a lot of Liverpool fans are saying Tsimikas is better from corners and free kicks and all that. So if Robertson is out injured, you're guaranteed that Tsimikas will start that game against Rangers next time round. And a game against Rangers, we've already talked about Rangers a couple of times. They've not scored a goal at all this season. They got thumped by Ajax and got thumped by Napoli, conceded 7 goals in those 2 games without scoring any. So if you have a team like that, and if Liverpool can keep a clean sheet and get a corner from somewhere, this guy gets an assist, you're looking at 10 plus points in that game. So for me, Tsimikas is a very, very good option. In the last match, he picked up 6 points in the last match against Ajax, which is not bad considering Ajax actually scored in that game. So that is the kind of numbers I want from my defenders. Even if the opposition team scores, my defender can still rack up 6-7 points because of the recoveries and also the assists and all that. So Tsimikas is my first option. Let me know, have you considered him? Would you be going for him? He's only 4.5 million. So if you're playing your limitless chip, you might not want him. You might be going for the likes of Alisson, Trent. But if you're playing your wildcard and you need someone cheaper in a Liverpool defender, this guy and also Matip as well could be very good options in that role. So that is my first option. Second up, I've gone for Rodrigo at only 8 million of Real Madrid. His next fixtures will be Shakhtar at home and Shakhtar away from home. Now, why have I picked him? Now, in the last, since Benzema got injured against Celtic, Rodrigo has started every single game after that, Champions League and La Liga. Now, again, just like Tsimikas, the reason why we need to keep an eye on him and not transfer him right away is because we need to know how Benzema is doing. Will he be fit for the next games? Will he return for the next Champions League games? But when this guy plays, when Rodrigo plays, he returns. Like in the league this season, he's scored 3 goals and assisted twice. Very, very good numbers for a guy who doesn't start every single game. I'd definitely be happy with those numbers. He has a very good relationship with Vinicius as well. He also did well in the Champions League last season. I remember him scoring against Chelsea. He assisted Vinicius a couple of weeks ago in the league, and he also scored against Atletico Madrid in the last game in the Madrid derby. So what else do you need? I mean, it's only 8 million. It's only going to cost you 8 million. Vinicius is going to cost you 10 million and all those guys. So if you're not playing a limitless and you can't afford the likes likes of Vinicius and all those guys. Rodrigo at 8 million, even for just one match day. He might not start every single match day between now and the end of the season. He could be a very good differential for just one match day. So if you're playing a wild card, if you're just making transfers, then I'd probably say don't get him in. You need someone who's going to cover you for a couple of weeks. But if you have a good plan and on a wild card, you need someone cheaper, then Rodrigo isn't a bad option. But not for now. We just have to wait and see whether Benzema gets fit and how he does. But he has started the last 3 games since Benzema got injured, which is not bad as well. And hey, if they score a goal, him or Vinicius, we get to see this dance. I mean, it's a win-win situation. You get points and you get to dance with them after they collected those points. I mean, who doesn't like the Brazilian style? Who doesn't like the Brazilian style? Obrigado. So that is Rodrigo as the number 2 option I have picked. Let me know, would you be going for him or will you be going for him? The third option I have gone for is Politano of Napoli at only 7 million, and his next fixtures are Ajax, home and away. So as I've always said in the previous video, Ajax and Napoli, I'm expecting a lot of goals in those matches. Just as I said in the first match day and second match day in that group, I'm expecting a lot of 3-3s and 3-2s in those Napoli Ajax fixtures. So we are looking at a lot of goals. But the main reason why I've picked Politano at 7 million is because Napoli have been getting the number of penalties they've been getting absolutely crazy. So against Liverpool, they got 2 penalties. Zielinski took 1, he scored. Osimhen took the second, he missed. And then in the next Champions League game against Rangers, they got another penalty. Zielinski took it and missed it. The referee said the goalkeeper was off his line, retake the penalty. Zielinski retook it again and missed it again. So after that, actually from that one of those rebounds, Politano had scored, but the goal was cancelled and the penalty was retaken again. This time round, Politano took the ball and he took the penalty and he scored from it. So basically that is 4 penalties, 5 if you count the one that was basically disallowed. Let's count it as 4. So 4 penalties in those games, and he took one of them and he scored. And in the next game against AC Milan in their league, they got another penalty and they gave Politano and he scored from it again, with scoring the winning goal in that match. So does that mean he is on penalties as of now? I actually do think so. He's taken the last 2 penalties. He scored both of them. Now, we have to wait and see if Osimhen comes back. Will he take another penalty? Will Zielinski go back on them as well? Will someone like Varshela take any of those penalties? Very, very good option if he's on penalties, because they're getting very many penalties. Like that, the number of penalties they're getting is absolutely crazy, man. Like 5 penalties, I think, from the last 3 games. That is just mad. So I think Politano could be a good option. Now it's 7 million. The likes of Zielinski are 7.2 million. So if you're missing that 0.2, then this could be a good option. But then again, there's only one problem with him. There's one reason that you might not want to go for him at all. I'll tell you right now, the number of minutes he plays. Like in the last game against AC Milan, he only played 66 minutes. Against Rangers, he played 77 minutes. He had 6 shots in that game, though. Against Spezia, 57 minutes. Against Liverpool, 58 minutes. Against Lazio, 45 minutes. So as you can see, he doesn't really play more than 60 minutes. Rarely plays more than 60 minutes. So you're really depending on him to get returns in the first half and maybe the first 10 minutes of the second half. So if you're trying to look for a player who's going to get you 2 points from the number of minutes they are playing and play at least 70, 80 minutes, then I think Politano could kind of disappoint you because he doesn't really play that many minutes. I think that same applies to every player from Napoli. I've had Kvaratskhelia in the last 2 match days. He gets subbed off early, especially in the first game. There's a time they subbed off. Was it Simeone something or subbed him on? They usually sub their players off very, very early. I'm not a big fan of that, but hey, let's see what happens. Let me know if you're considering him. So those are the 3 players I've picked up: a Liverpool defender, a Real Madrid midfielder, and also Napoli midfield. I think those games are very, very good for them as well. Let me know if there's any player I've missed out on. These players are not highly owned. I think Rodrigo is like 2% or something. Politano is not highly owned at all as well. And Tsimikas, I think it's like 1% or something like that. So he could be a massive differential as well. So I've done my own research on this one. You don't have to go for this player. Just keep an eye on them. And then when you get closer to the match day, in case we hear Benzema is still out injured, Robertson is still out injured, then we might consider them. So that is my watch list for match day 3. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. And if you're playing your wild card and you need some tips on that, click on the video on the left. And if you're still trying to decide whether to play your wild card or your limitless, hopefully the video on the right side helps you make that decision.